Hey, Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. I am on my iPad and I don't know where my little camera is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now I figured out where the little camera or the lens is. So, hey, I thought I would just do something a little bit different today. I'm doing a bunch of recording on I'm finally putting together a lot of the information that I've collected over the years, all the way from when I initially started into trading. I guess it was around 1990, somewhere in that area. Picked up a course from Ken Roberts called Twampum. It was the world's most powerful money manual and course. I'm actually rereading it again right now. Let me just take you over here to where I got. Oh, by the way, let me give a shout out to Bryan in South Korea, because he's gave me this idea to kind of walk around and talk with you. And then you looked up my nose. But anyway, I enjoy watching his videos. I love watching the information he puts out about Korea and stuff. So anyway, I thought I would just, I don't know if this is going to work out or not, but hey, this right here. Now, there was a sales flyer that came, you might have seen me in a past video. Let me figure out where the lens is again. I think it's over here in this corner. So there was a mailer that I got years ago that was sent to me where I lived, and it actually probably was addressed to my dad because we shared the same name, David Knight, and I'm a junior and he was a senior. But this was the course that I sent away for, and it came with a DVD. Man, not DVD. They didn't even have DVDs then. It came with a VHS tape. So I'm actually going through a lot of the material. Now, I got a workshop from him and a few other items that I picked up from him. I'm actually going to load the, I took a picture of some of the stuff that I picked up in the early 90s from him. This is just one of the courses. And one of the interesting things that I found in here that I definitely disagree with, but I thought I'd share it with you. This was one of the teachings that he would teach on, would be to add series of contracts. Now, I believe this is the soybean oil market. Now, I actually did never get this crazy about adding contracts, but at one point in my career, when I used to do more positional trading than going into crude oil and just day trading in one market, I actually followed this logic out to about 8 contracts, I believe. I had 8, 4, 2, 1, and it made a lot of money on that particular setup that I was able to capture in. But could you imagine? I mean, he's adding 128. Now, I don't. By the way, I don't believe in this anymore. I don't believe in that's a proper way to build the pyramid. Probably the better way to build a pyramid, instead of the inverted pyramid, what you just saw there. You think about the inverted pyramid. Is this a safe structure? Is what it comes down to. And the reason that I say this is that from my own personal experience of winning a lot of money that way, but also pretty much giving back most of my gains on another time that I got limit against me, and I lost pretty much everything that I earned in a matter of like 3 days going limit against me. So needless to say, I like to day trade a little bit better now. Futures can be very dangerous, and if you follow that kind of logic out to its fruition, it can get you in a lot of trouble. This is what I mean, some of the false logic. Now, I'm not saying that everything Ken Roberts taught was bad. I haven't reviewed his option stuff in forever, so I can't speak on options. But when I saw that, I got a smile on my face. And I was glad that I could smile about it because it was very painful to have, basically $250,000 at one point in my career, and to see that account get decimated on inverse pyramid like that. So now, granted, I made some more money beyond beyond that point, but that was my foray in the 1990s and in the futures. So, I was successful to start with, and that's probably why I kept going at it, because I was one of the 10%. Now, I wasn't successful to start with. I blew my account out to start with. I think I started with a $10,000 account and blew that out, and then I opened up another 10, and I might even blown that one out too. But my very first account that I had, I actually made a lot of money on it, and then I imploded. So, and then I tried to get it back all at one time, and Jesse Livermore. Actually, I was reading The Boy Plunger is what I'm reading right now on my time, because I'm kind of like in that zone now where I'm not as busy as I normally am. So I've been sitting here learning and taking information down. So one of the quotes that I came across, hey, my wife just walked in, so let's see if she'll wave at you. That's all you get. All right. So I'm recording on YouTube. So where's that quote that I said that I thought I would read to you? I wrote it down today. This was in the chapter that I was reading is in chapter 18, in Ultimate Betrayal, the treachery of Teddy Price. A little background on this story. Teddy Price was a cotton trader that had made a big name for himself back. I've heard of the name, but I didn't really know much about him. But him and Jesse Livermore became really good friends at one point. And they vacationed together. They took vacations down in West Palm Beach, and they hit it off. And he actually called him a magnetic personality type. So he went in his rules that he had, and he decided that those rules weren't. His rules is what made his millions of dollars. I think he made at this point in time. In 1908, when he met Teddy Price, he had about $6 million in the bank. Now, after this relationship with Teddy Price, he ended up with only having $300,000 left in his accounts across the board. So he had to sell his yacht that was on the Chicago Bay, and all his rail car, and all kinds of other things. And what happened, from what I read, is that he trusted this guy's opinion more than his own opinion, and it got him in a lot of trouble, because what Teddy Price ended up doing is taking his positions. He was saying one thing to him, and he was doing the exact opposite. So pretty much all the money that he lost, Teddy Price made. Now, according to what the biographer kind of hinted towards in this chapter, Teddy Price got what he deserved in the end. He pretty much, I think he went belly up as well. But the quote, let's see if I can find that quote that I saw, because it was a really good one. I had it here somewhere, but now I can't figure out is it this one here? I did like this. I'll read you this quote, because this one, maybe it was this one here. Jesse Livermore, obviously won and lost a lot of money over the years. But the quote that I really liked was this one. The recognition of our own mistakes should not benefit us any more than the study of our successes. But there is a natural tendency in all men to avoid punishment. When you associate certain mistakes with a licking, You do not hanker for a second dose. And of course, all stock market mistakes wound you like two tender spots. Wounds you in two tender spots, your pocketbook and your vanity. So he wrote this after he lost roughly $5.7 million in the cotton trade that he was in. So he shut himself away. He just pretty much didn't talk to anybody for a period of time. And I can't imagine. Now, granted, I told you the amount of money that I gave up, but it certainly wasn't, millions of dollars like that. To me, it was devastating to do what I did. And long story short, and where am I going with this, is that was kind of the reason why I put together the Jesse Livermore money management strategy to start with in the very beginning, because of the pain associated with his losing. That I think that if he would have banked a couple million of his dollars at some point in his career, he would have not shot himself in the head shot himself in the head at the end, because that's pretty much what happens to Jesse. He just pretty much gives up on life and ends it at that point. So, so you think about what motivates you as in your trading and some of the things, and I remember, obviously I remember going back through this. Now I'm reading it again and looking through it, and I saw that concept of this and the pain that's associated with that. So back to what I wanted to talk about, kind of, and to conclude it, we talk about a pyramid like this shape, or you talk about a pyramid in this shape, right? This pyramid shape is a much safer. It's hard to move back and forth. I mean, hell, just look at the Egyptian pyramids. They're still standing to this day, and still nobody knows who made them, right? So, how many pyramids are standing this way? They're still up. None that I know of that are of that age, right? So, maybe the weather or whatever. But you think about building and adding contracts, and you think about your position. What I believe in now, if I was going to trade a series of 6 contracts and I wanted to stage in, then I would probably go 4-2, 3-2-1, or I'd be 5-1. But I certainly wouldn't go 1, then add 1, then add 2, then add 4. I would never do that again. That is very painful. And if someone is teaching you that's the correct way to doing it, I would tell you that they're wrong. They need to be looking at it this way. So hopefully this makes sense to you, because I read this today and I just thought I'd share some of the pain that I had in my past, of some of the trading mistakes that I did, and maybe it'll strike a nerve with you. I went through this course, and then I remember how easy the 1, 2, 3 setup was, and it's still some of the basic stuff that he teaches. I still have it. Joe Ross uses it. I use it, and Ken Roberts didn't learn it. He learned it from someone else. So it's been there as far as time and traders probably have been trading the market to try to find the right setup to get into the market and put the odds as best you can into your favor. All right, that's all I want to talk about today. I appreciate you listening to me today. And like I said, a shout out to Bryan, and walking around and kind of talking a little bit. And I just thought I would kind of share and tell him that I appreciate his information, and I wish him the best of luck into the new year. And obviously I want to give a shout out to all the other guys that are watching me, and then the 5% of women, because when I look at YouTube, it's pretty much 95% men, 5% women. So you 5%ers out there, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.